Hey besties, welcome back to the Couch Pod. If you're new to this podcast, my name is Bree. I am the host of Bree's Couch Pod. If you're an OG, thanks so much for being here with me for another week. So, if you couldn't tell by the title of this episode, we're about to get into the thick of it, okay? It's about to be, I want to have a really real, honest, raw conversation in this episode. This is going to be like my back to school episode. I'm not doing any of like the basic tips. Well, I guess, okay, if y'all want another episode, I'll do another episode, but I don't have intentions of it. This is just kind of the one I have planned. Capiche? Kaposh. So, first things first, if you're listening to this, baby, I'm on tour. Okay, I was just in Austin. Now, if you're listening to this, I'm in Houston. Okay? Okay. So, yeah. I want to thank y'all for all the love y'all showed to the last episode. Thank y'all for being patient with me on like my little hiatus of just me like trying to get my mind right, get my body right, locking with my goals. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I really don't want to spend too much time dwelling on the past because let's talk about the future. Capiche? Kaposh. Okay, so first things first. The title of this episode, are you ready to leave it all behind? Are you? It's not as scary as it sounds, just walk with me, yeah? So, I really just want to talk about kind of that leaving for college thing. This, like I said, this is my back to school episode, so this is really going to kind of be geared towards my freshman girlies or anybody leaving, moving away for like just a new chapter of life. But this is really going to be more geared towards my freshman babies that are finally hitting campus. I'm so excited for y'all. This episode's really cool. I have a little cousin who's actually leaving for school in like less than a month, y'all. My little baby cousin, y'all. She's leaving. Yeah, I can't even process, bro. But yeah, that's what this episode's gonna be about. So let's just get right into it. The first thing I really kind of want to touch on for me is what it was like for me to leave college. So me growing up, like I went to charter school when I was little, which is almost like kind of sort of like a private school, not really the point. I had the same friends when it like hung around the same people up until like middle school from high school. So these are people that I've known for like 6-7 years at this point, and I graduated with all of my best friends. So these are basically, I call them my childhood friends because we were kids, y'all. They're not like my elementary friends. I wasn't fortunate enough to graduate with the people I went to elementary school with, but like these friends never treated me any differently. We still call each other family. You know what it is, okay? So we had all graduated together, and I feel lucky enough that I grew up, I guess, in a school or like the way me and my class were kind of set up, we treated each other like family. So we were never like, oh, like, I don't really know her like that. It was just like we all went to the same school. We all been in the same classes together for so long. It's like we just all know each other. It was all love, you know what I mean? It was never like, yes, there were cliques, but it was never like, oh, like this group don't do this group. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm babbling. Regardless, like I said, I graduated with all of my best friends from high school. So that whole summer, like we all just turned 18, like we could not get into the club. If you're from Dallas, you know Red River, it was Thirsty Thursday every single Thursday. Okay? So that's just kind of what we did. And like I spent a lot of time with my friends. Like me and all of my friends were attached at the hip. Like you could ask anybody. You didn't see one of us without seeing at least two more of us right behind. And we loved living our life that way. We were kids, we were in high school, we were celebrating our senior year, like going into adulthood, and we all just like grew up together. So like I was really fortunate to have that community and have that kind of foundation. And when it came time for us to graduate, I quickly kind of realized that everybody's plan is different. And I'm going to I'm gonna preface this now. Anybody that I went to school with who comes across this episode or that I was friends with in high school, please know that there is nothing wrong with the path that you chose. I'm not saying anything about the path that anybody chose at all because your life is your life. The path that God has for you is the path that you're supposed to be on. Point blank, period. Everything that I'm saying that happened to me or my experience going into college, graduating high school, it's all from my own perspective. I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm not, like providing like a narrative or anything along those lines, if that makes sense. I'm actually just speaking from the way that 18-year-old me felt, not 21-year-old me that's like evolved and like sees things for what it is now. You get what I'm saying? 18 and 21 is still so baby, but you get what I'm trying to say, okay? So yeah, graduating high school, like we had all of our friends, like we were all together. We were always partying, like, you know, just loving, like being seniors, really trying to grasp in those moments before we had to go to college. You know what I mean? And so when I get into the conversation of college, I had a lot of my guy friends who play sports. A lot of my guy friends now play college football. If y'all have NCAA 25, they're on the game. Okay, that's a different conversation for a different time, okay? So like they were all leaving really, really early. They either left right after graduation. A lot of my friends left right after graduation, or they were leaving early, or like they had to go for the whole summer. They come home for a week and then they were gone when school like actually started really kicked in. So we said a lot of goodbyes really, really early. So we made it a point to like really cherish all the time that we had together before it was really time to go. And out of my female friends, I was the only one leaving for college, which there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I encourage my friends to go to college. It wasn't their vibe, and that's okay. I have friends now in my grown adult life that did not go to college. I do not condemn nobody because you didn't go to college. That's not my life. That's yours, babe, okay? If I wouldn't have been raised in a Mexican overachieving family and I wasn't, you know, the little girl that the whole family had to bring up, I probably wouldn't have gone to college either, okay? But that's a different story for a different time, okay? Like I just said, I was the only one leaving for college, point blank period. I wasn't judging nobody, nothing wrong with your lifestyle. I just went to college and they didn't, okay? So right before this happened, for some reason, and I say that, okay, I'm gonna be really careful with my words. Right around this time, I kind of drifted away. I don't want to say fell out because I don't think fell out is the right word. Me and my female friends that I had graduated with that I were really, really close to, we kind of just went our separate ways. And I was just kind of alone in a sense of like, okay, I've had the same best friends my whole life. I've had the same friends for a really long time. And now I don't have them, and I really kind of don't know what to do with that. Okay, so I felt a little lost. And I know I'm not the only person that this happened to. Again, like I said, this can be perceived by so many different people in so many different ways. And for me, all the basis of it was the friends that I'd known my whole life, I don't have anymore. And I'm about to leave for college in less than 3 weeks. That's just what it was, point blank, period. And so for me, it was like, I had felt some type of way about, you know, because I was like, okay, but it was also like, I had so much. If you have left for college before, you know what that summer before you leave is like. It is a whirlwind, and before you blink, it's moving day. Around that time, I think I was leaving in like 2 weeks for school. And I was like, as much as I would like love to repair this, maybe this is God trying to tell me to shed some old skin. Like maybe God is just trying to push me forward. Maybe he's trying to advance me further in whatever is waiting for me at my university. So I just kind of took it for what it was and I left it alone. Now, it was really upsetting to know that like if I were to come home, I wouldn't be able to like see my best friends, you know what I mean? And be like, hey, like I'm home, like let's catch up. But it was also like, okay, like again, God is placing me elsewhere because that just isn't supposed to be my plan no more. It's okay that that's not my plan no more. It's okay. Like it was never beef. It was just like this isn't. Things are changing. So with that, I really, really did struggle, and I was thankful enough to have met my roommate and to have met. Oh, sorry. I am so not comfortable right now, y'all. Okay. I was thankful enough to have met my roommate in advance and that she was from like the neighboring town from where I lived. Our high schools had played each other in like during football season, so we kind of like knew the same people. So because of her, I met a couple of other friends that were also attending our school in the fall. So I kind of leaned in more towards spending time with them because I'm like, when I move, your girl needs some friends, okay? So with that, I just kind of like really leaned into that, and I kind of stopped trying to focus on the negative of what I don't have and start to look at what I was gaining. With that, we took our first visit actually the summer before we left. Me and my university friends visited. I go to Texas Tech. It's not like a, you know, we visited Texas Tech, and girl, we had a time. Okay, so we were like, we're so ready for college. Like, I can't wait to go. Blah 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 blah, right? So we got there because we're like, oh, we just graduated. We're not really in college yet. So when you get to campus, it's like, you know that Miley Cyrus clip? If you've ever been to Lubbock, Texas, you know. I don't even have to explain too much. You know where she's like, hello, New York. And the car goes, mrr. Like, That's actually what it gave. So with that, that's like, it just felt like being in a new space, but it was also like, girl, you're in the country. Like, it wasn't really a culture shock because like I'm from Texas, I've seen the country, I have family that lives in the country, I've been in the country, but it's like I've never lived in the country. And like Lubbock without Texas Tech, it's a small town. It is a college town through and through, because without Texas Tech, it is literally just like your little hometown. Everybody knows everybody, like little dive bar, everybody hangs out every single night. Like these would not be the vibes without Texas Tech. You get what I'm saying? So with that, it was really like, damn, I'm starting all the way over. And so like, it really, it didn't hit me honestly until my parents dropped me off. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I kid you not, so like me and my roommate moved in the same day, like around the exact same time during the day. So like our other friends that we knew that lived down the hall, coincidentally lived in our dorm, came to visit us and were helping us put stuff up. My parents were like, okay, we're leaving. I'm like, what do you mean you're leaving? You're supposed to, come get in the bed, we're gonna spend the night. What do you mean you're leaving? So, my parents, like my mom and my grandparents came to move me in. They gave me a hug, kissed me goodbye. As soon as I shut the door behind me, I like fell out. I'm trying to watch my language. I shit you not, I fell out, y'all. What do you mean my parents are leaving me here and they're not about to come pick me up in a couple hours? What do you mean I have to spend the night here? What do you mean? I was literally like, and I feel like for me, I didn't even get a chance to like cry for real, because all of my friends that I just made, who have never really seen me cry, just watched my parents leave me in this dorm. So I like bent over for 2 seconds and I was like, and I was like, all right, where we at, y'all? Like I had to lock in, cause it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm not gonna just sit here in my room and cry, cause my mom and dad not coming back anyways. We might as well go have some fun. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I feel like not letting myself, or not giving myself that moment to like cry and kind of like mourn moving out of my parents. Like, yes, I wasn't in my own apartment, but like, damn, a bitch moved out. Like, I was not gonna go back to my mama's house anytime soon. I felt like I had to give myself a moment to mourn. And with that, it was just like, go. Like, I kid y'all not, y'all. I'm so sorry, Mom and my grandparents, if you come across this. That night that we moved in, we went to go drink. It's pouring rain. We took an Uber to one of our friends' house who was an upperclassman. We went over there to go drink. We didn't get back till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we did that for like a week straight. If you go to any's, I don't know how all schools work. Most college campuses do this. We have a welcome week. So it's like basically a week full of parties, just getting social, getting events, meeting everybody that's on your campus. It was welcome week the week that we moved in. So we were nonstop. So by the time like Labor Day weekend came around, I was distraught. I missed my parents. It was starting to click for real, like, hey, what's that TikTok? What is it, Stranger Things? I don't like this. Chrissy, where are you? I don't like this. That's what it was giving. Really bad. And I was like, oh, okay. I was lucky enough to I had a wedding to be in, so I got to go home Labor Day weekend. I sobbed like a baby when I had to leave. And I feel like not giving myself that time was like, I mourned leaving every single time I came home to visit. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, like, I'm coming home I'm so sorry, y'all. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, I'm trying to move around and get comfortable. It wasn't like, oh, I'm home for a couple of days, like I needed a refresher. It was like, I'm home for a couple of days and now I never want to leave again and I'm crying. I'll never forget one time, this is before I had my car. My parents used to fly me home. It was like a 45-minute flight. My parents used to fly me home and I would literally be so distraught. One time, I'm literally hugging my grandma at the airport. I'm sobbing in her shoulders. Mind you, she has to go to work. Her work shirt is wet because I was literally crying so hard because I did not want to leave my parents. Like, I was so sick. And I felt like, again, like I said, I didn't allow myself to mourn. So I feel like for any of my friends like listening that are going into school, whose parents are dropping them off, spend as much time as you can with your parents in your college town before they leave. Like, talk to them the whole drive there, interact with them as much as possible, be patient with them while y'all are doing the move-in process, the whole 9 yards, because it is so important, because I did not realize how much I was going to miss my parents. And I missed my parents so much. I would literally call them every day. My dad made me a plant. Oh my God, kicker. My dad made me a plant that had his cologne in it, like he dripped his cologne in it. I didn't smell it until after they left, and I was like rearranging all my stuff, and I was like, why did he give me this plastic plant? I got a whiff of it, and it smelled just like my dad. I sobbed, y'all. Sobbed. But anyways, that's enough about how much I just am a weenie. So I really want to touch on the fact that, yes, leaving is hard, and I say this with like all the tough love in the world. Leaving never gets easier, no matter what period of life you transition into. So like me, moving to college, like moving away was really, really hard. And when I left my college town, I've only been in Dallas for a year. It's so crazy to think that, because I've had so much like change over my life in a year that I'm thankful for. But I've only been in Dallas for a year. And leaving my college town was so hard. Saying goodbye to a life that I had built to come and have to build another one all over again was like, wasn't devastating, but it was like, wow. Like I just did this 2 years ago and I'm doing it all over again. And I say this for all of my friends that are in nursing school. I have so many friends in nursing school right now. My closest friends, the girls that I love the most, are in nursing school. And I'm so proud of them, but I know how hard it was to like completely readjust your life. I have friends, like I have social media mutuals that are in law school. I couldn't imagine how hard it is to go from university to law school to big girl school. And you're still trying to build your life and start all the way over. One of my homegirls, her name is Zoe. If you ever come across this, just know that I see you. It's actually snaps all around chat. Like she's doing her big thing in law school, and I love that for her. Absolutely love that for her. But the same thing with like leaving and that kind of like that bittersweet, like mournful feeling. It comes with every stage of life, and I feel like what I'm trying to say is the most important thing that you need to do is embrace it, be thankful, and just kind of like also, yes, like you don't want to be sad about those things, but be thankful that you're able to be sad, that you loved where you were so much, that you loved your life, that you cherished so many people, that it's sad to leave. Like, I don't know, I feel like I have to look at everything as the glass half full instead of half empty, or else I would literally just be crying forever. And with that, when I said looking at the glass half full, I had to do that when I got to school my freshman year. So, like I said, we already had a couple friends that were at university. I knew a lot of upperclassmen from my high school, so they helped me really get like acclimated with the school and kind of like extracurriculars, things like that. But we also knew a lot of like people that were also going into our grade. And your freshman year, you will make so many friends. And I put that in quotes. You will make so many friends that you meet out at the bar, that you saw at a football game, that you sat next to one time, that you have a class with, and all these things. And I feel like freshman year is the time to make the most of those connections. You never know who you are going to end up with by the time you finish college. You never know. And I feel like, yes, like you may not always be friends with all the people that you meet your freshman year, but to just be lucky enough to encounter that many people, and for me, knowing that like some of my best friends were the people that I met my freshman year of college, were the people that I even met my sophomore year of college. But like I kind of knew of them when we were freshmen. We were mutuals when we were freshmen. That's what led us to that friendship. I'm like so thankful for. And another thing I want to touch on is, do not be discouraged if by the time you get into your sophomore year, by the time you get into the end of your, before you even get to sophomore year, by the time you get to the end of freshman year, if you're not friends with the same people you walked in with, that is okay. It is okay. I don't want to say I'm not friends, but there were people that I were really close to when I got to college. You know, like we were living in the dorms, all the things that I'm not close with anymore, that I don't talk to anymore, that we will probably never be like that close again. But I think about being a freshman, and I think about how when you get to college, you and your little core four, that small friend group you have when you first get to college, you are all each other has. You are all that you have to make it through and survive. And I am so thankful that we held on to each other for so long before, so that we could all just feel afloat, so that we could all just feel like we had it together, even for just a little bit. And I think on that so fondly, and saying that now to like incoming freshmen is like, you don't really know that feeling until the moment has came and went. And with that, with making friends and all those things, when I say that you are going to lose friends, you in college, you can go through friends like toilet paper. I'm not saying it's a good thing. Don't just look at me when I say this. Don't just fall out with every bitch you meet, okay? You can't be that strict around here. Yes, have standards for your friends, but don't fall out with every bitch you meet, okay? Don't be falling out by no nigga. Excuse my language. Don't be falling out by no athletes. Specifically an athlete. Do not fall out by no athlete. Do you understand me? I'm not playing. But also, it's okay to have standards. Like, if you want to be friends with people that are headed in the same direction as you, be friends with them. But don't discredit the girl that was nice to you and was your only friend on campus when you first got to school. You get what I'm saying? And with that being said, the older you get in college, it's just like growing up in high school. Your priorities are going to change. Your values are going to change. You're not going to be the same person you were when you walked into that dorm room than you are leaving that apartment. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like the most important thing is to understand that, yes, just because these are people you were friends with when you were freshmen does not mean you have to hold on to them forever. Just like I went through, like I explained in high school, about how I had to understand that God was letting me know that my friend, that he's pushing out my old friends to make room for all the people I'm about to meet. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. Even if this is a girl you came into college with from high school, y'all was real cool, or y'all got cool because y'all committed to the same college, whatever. If she does not fit the life you're trying to create yourself, please understand it is okay to let them go. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. And if you are not willing to pay the price, you're going to suffer. That's all I have to say. I can speak from personal experience. I had to change my life around in so many ways. I had to change the way that I thought. I had to change the way that I spoke to people. I had to change the way that I approached people. I had to change so many things about my life. Not in a bad way, but in a way that was going to progress me, that was going to help me prolong my college career, that was going to put me in the rooms I needed to be in, that was going to keep me out of the bullshit that I didn't need to be in. It's that simple. So, moving on with that, when I tell you your new life is going to cost you your old one, it does not mean that you have to act like your old life does not exist. If you have friends at home, that is fantastic. I don't think we understand how blessed we are to be able to come home to our hometown and still have people that we know. I am lucky and blessed enough that my friends, my homeboys that play football in college, that I've known since I was in 6th grade, that if I see them when we're home, it's, hey, how are you doing? Like, how's school? I see you playing football, like, doing your thing. It's never beef. It's not like, oh, I don't know you, like, I'm not gonna say nothing to you. It's never that. It never gave that, okay? Just because you have a new life does not mean you have to forget about your old one. Now, if you've done some things you're not proud of, I'm not saying you have to own it and wave it on a flag and let the whole world know, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, just because you have a chosen family at university does not mean you forget about the family that raised you. Just because you have best friends in college does not mean you forget about your best friend you've had since 5th grade, okay? And I had to learn that with my parents. Like I said, my friends are my chosen family. I love my friends down. I love them like my mama birthed them, okay? But I also know, like, my family is always going to be my family. My family is always going to be here for me, and home will always be waiting for you. That was the biggest thing that my parents always preached to me when I was like, I want to come home, I'm homesick, I hate it here. I didn't actually hate it there. I just missed my parents. But they always let me know. My mom always let me know, you can come home and visit whenever you want. Home is always going to be there for you. I still got a room in mama's house. I haven't lived with her in 3 years, and I still got a room there. My bed's still there, my dresser, everything's intact, okay? Home is always going to be waiting for you. Whether that's your hometown, whether that's your best friends, whether it's just your parents, whether it's your childhood dog, it's your brothers, it's your sisters, anybody. Home is always going to be waiting for you. And, With that being said, like I talked about, your new life and your old life, it can kind of be a power struggle with your emotions of feeling like, okay, like I made all these new friends, like I'm taking these classes, like I have a new job. All of these things of like, sorry, what are the words I'm trying to say? Give me the words, give me the words, give me the words. Just feeling like things are changing and you might not be ready for them. College is probably one of the biggest changes you'll go through in like adolescence, at the end of your teenage years. College, if you go to university, this is like, it's all one big canon event, and I cannot interfere. Okay? You gonna have to learn the lessons you don't want to learn. You're gonna have to do the things you don't want to do, take a class you don't want to take, maybe interact with somebody you don't ever want to interact with. Okay? And I need you to understand that your life is supposed to change. What they be saying, in order to get comfortable, you got to get uncomfortable. Your life is supposed to change. I need you to understand that nothing is going to be like your hometown. If you went away to college and hoped that it was going to be just like high school, you're in for a slap in the motherfucking face, okay? Your life is supposed to change. If you want to be that Pilates mom, you want to be that nurse mom, you want to be a CNA, you want to be a doctor, you want to be the next Meredith Grey, you want to be Christina Yang, you want to be, what's her name off Scandal? You want to be Olivia Pope, okay? You want to be Annalise Keating? Your life is supposed to change. Understand that, know that, and be open to the idea. The biggest thing that you can do to hinder your growth is be closed-minded in college. You never know what college is going to throw your way. I've had some jobs, I've met some people, I've had some friends that I never thought that I would ever have, never thought that I would meet, ever come across, befriend, whatever. And they are some people that have changed my life significantly, that I couldn't imagine the course of my life if I hadn't had those interactions. Your life is supposed to change, and the sooner you embrace that, I can't even put it into words, y'all. The last thing I really want to touch on is, I actually got this from Glee when I watched it for the first time when I was in 6th grade. It's the episode where Sam comes home. Like, they move him back to McKinley or whatever. He goes to go live with Finn or something because he was homeless. And Quinn tries to get back together with him, and she's like, we're a shoo-in for prom king and queen and blah, blah. And he tells her, he's like, hold on to 16 for as long as you can. It's like a Bruce Springsteen song. Bruce Springsteen. It's a Bruce Springsteen song. And I guess the lyrics, maybe it's Bruce Springsteen. I don't know, that could be wrong. But anyways, the lyrics are hold on to 16 for as long as you can. And I feel like that's kind of the perfect thing to like wrap all of this up. Is like, in college, just like high school, the next 4 years will go by so quick. And even now, like just finishing my 3rd year of college, I cannot believe how much my life has changed in 3 years. I can't believe how much I've experienced in 3 years, how many people I've seen, the situations I've been in, the money I've touched. Like, your life is going to change so much, and everything will go by in the blink of an eye. And when I say that everybody is on a different path, everybody is on a completely different path. By the time that I was done being a freshman, I have friends leaving to go to nursing school. By the time I was done being a freshman, I have friends that were graduating. By the time I was done being a freshman, I have friends moving back home. At the end of my sophomore year, I moved back home. My best friends were leaving for nursing school. They're applying for nursing school. One of my best friends graduated last semester, y'all. She has her degree. She's younger than me, and she has a fucking bachelor's degree, okay? Your time with your close friends there is something to cherish, something to hold on to. You will never get to be that level of adolescent and young with the least amount of responsibilities ever again. Because as soon as they push you out with that degree and they hand you that diploma, you get that ring, girl, you better put your big girl boots on. It's about to get real, okay? But I really, really do mean it when I say this, like, go in with an open mind and an open heart and just hold on to so much. I still think so fondly of being a freshman, like being in my dorm, like the first time we went to the club out in Lubbock, like the first time we had a pregame. I still think about all the situations my friends had us in, like all the situations I had my friends in, just all of those things, and like being able to encapsulate it all and looking back on it all so fondly, and to know that it happened in such a short amount of time and that everybody now is literally so scattered. We're on completely different paths now. But we're also so fond of those memories. It's a really beautiful thing, and you'll never share that kind of bond with anybody else. So, with that being said, I'm just gonna wrap this episode up. I hope all of my friends leaving for college, starting a new journey this fall, just know that you're loved and you're supported, and we are all rooting for you. Everyone in this community is rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Just, I don't even like, sorry, I'm so filled with like gratitude and excitement and expression that like I can't even like get the words out of my mouth. But I love you guys, and I'm so excited. I love that I get to touch on these sentimental moments with you guys, and I hope anybody listening to this who's leaving for college, uses this and takes this, and it's just ready for that next chapter in your life. I'm so excited for you guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Y'all are literally the best. I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode, right back here on the couch. Goodbye.